Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of
I
mine.
have a friend in Jesus.
Do you want to die, Sydney? Your mother sure didn't.
Fuck you, you creep. Please don't.
Jesus wept.
Tell the sheriff I got him.
I got plans for you. I'm gonna slit your eyelids in half so you don't blink when I stab you in the face.
You don't know what death is.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Hey, this is Trevor with Blood, Guts, and B-Movie Trash Talk, and we watch and review movies that you do not have time for. Now, before I jump any further, I would like to introduce the second half of the show. Steve, don't skimp on the sexy Norman.
Hello.
Hey. I'm glad to see that you actually provided some intro music this time around.
You reminded me.
Yes. Well, it's a good choice. I think it fits your character perfectly.
Well, thanks.
No problem. We were just discussing before we started recording how you should also start carrying around a championship belt of some sort, maybe on your shoulder, maybe around your waist. I don't know.
Have like the Titantron and come out and we have our own videos.
You surgically get the metal pieces on your feet so when you walk on it.
Oh yeah, the chips.
Yeah.
Like the toys.
Yes.
Those are cool.
Those are cool. I still have some of those. I was just going through some of my old boxed shit at my mom's house, which I do on occasion just to...
Walk down memory lane.
Yeah, remember when I was a child and had no cares. Still have some of those wrestlers. I don't know what the hell I did with them. Like, their arms are all broken off and...
They're fucking goon. Speaking of fucking goons, we got one for you today.
Indeed we do. What are we finishing up today, Steve?
We are doing the rest of the series, pretty much. And we're going to start with Halloween 5, which is The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Yes. Not the greatest movie, Steve.
No. And it could have been made better, though, for the $3 million that they dumped into it. But it did return 11.6. This baby was made in 1989.
Mm-hmm.
And the director and writer, you ask?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't fucking write it down because this movie sucked ass.
Well, some interesting things here. When they put out 4, I guess it was fairly successful box office-wise. And they wanted to get this movie out as quickly as possible to make more money. So I was reading up on it, and I found out that they started filming this in May of 1989, and it came out in October. So they fucking threw this piece of shit
Crank
together.
this baby out.
Yeah, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
You know, another thing about this movie is, according to the really shitty, 4 and 5 were sort of done on during a writer's strike.
Yeah.
And this is just, 4 is like, it's like the worst. Pretty almost.
Yeah,
it's almost the worst. But
Yeah.
this one is The Night the Worst continues.
That's what it should be called.
The Night the Worst came home. And it kind of just picks up right where the last one left off. So
yeah, it's kind of like Halloween 1 and 2, and I think we talked a bit about that on the last episode.
now,
Like structure-wise, kind of.
yeah, like a really shitty version of it. And this one, if the term is correct, I believe is retcon, where they go back and they re-add some stuff that didn't happen in the last one. For example, on the last one, Michael Myers was shot and he fell in that hole.
Yeah.
And in this one, he's shot and they throw dynamite down the hole.
Yeah, let's talk about the dynamite here. Do cops carry dynamite on a regular basis? And why the hell are they just throwing it out in the fucking forest?
Hey, dynamite is a great, reliable weapon that you can tote with you anywhere. Yeah, so they throw it down there, and you see a scene of Michael crawling through this fucking cavern, and he floats down the river, and he winds up in this, homeless dude home.
Yeah, this transient den.
Yeah, there's a bum den, and he goes there. He tries to kill this guy, but instead he just passes out, and he's just out for a whole year.
Yeah, a whole year.
And jumping from that point, yeah, that's how this movie starts. Little Jamie Lloyd, she has got a problem with the talks.
Yeah, she's been rendered mute.
Well, she does like a... And
Yeah.
it sucks because Danielle Harris is great, but, you know, kid Danielle Harris isn't that great of an actor, and
Yeah.
she also doesn't... I mean, this is a shit show anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you get a whole lot of that going on in the movie, so while we talk about the movie, just remember the kids doing that nonstop. And also, you've got Loomis being like, "You've got to tell them, Jamie! Jamie, you've got to tell them! Release the rage!" That happened at the end of 4, and so now Loomis can't talk very loud because his voice is harsh from yelling, "No!"
A year has gone by and he's still a bit hoarse.
Yeah, and the little Jamie can't talk at all because Loomis has yelled enough for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so basically we follow Rachel, who's the most boring character in the series.
And thankfully she's killed
Right.
fairly quickly.
And now another interesting thing is Rachel's good friend there, Lindsay, is the same little Lindsay from the Tommy Lindsay bit that Laurie Strode was babysitting.
But
on
she
the
doesn't.
first one.
She doesn't fucking act like it.
No, she loves Halloween and she prances around and she doesn't even care. Like, I feel like I would be a little bit scarred and always like nervous about stuff.
I'd fucking hate Halloween.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
But she's like, you know what? You live in the Myers house, so we're still friends and let's hang out.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And she doesn't even take any suggestion or word from Loomis when he goes to explain that Michaels is still out in the run and that it's dangerous for them to go out. Not to mention the fact that Jamie has this telepathic connection
Now,
with Michael.
in all fairness, I wouldn't listen to Loomis either. Not at this point. yeah.
Drunk ass rambling.
Jamie, you've got to help with the rage. And yeah, so she does have a telepathic connection with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
we find this out. I think there's a few times you can see this happening, but I think when Rachel is back at the house and decides to take a shower in the middle of the day for no apparent reason, just to get that
afternoon
semi-nudity
stank off.
Yeah, and that semi bit of nudity that everybody's wanting to see. She gets out of the shower.
Not me. I don't
and
want to see that.
she finds a picture of Jamie, Danielle Harris's character, and the glass is smashed. And this is where I believe that we really get to see the new Michael Myers mask as he stabs and kills her.
Which Michael Myers mask is it this time?
This is the fucking worst. I hate this mask.
This is the Nicolas Cage mask.
Yeah, yes.
I wouldn't say the worst. I would say the worst was number 4, where he's startled. This one is the second worst.
These are, 4 and 5 have the worst masks, I think.
At
least in my opinion. You could quite possibly argue with me on that one.
You get a better mask going to any knockoff store. Dude.
Yeah.
I just opened my soundboard and I was playing that. But you know what? I was thinking of that sound while I was imagining the mask. And it's funny that it started playing, and I thought you were playing it.
I was
like,
just
that
gonna,
is spot on.
I was going to start playing them. Because we don't want to. We don't like that mask, but.
Yeah, so, either way, it's not a very good mask. It definitely is one of the worst.
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's 4 and 5 are on the worst masks of the whole series.
Mm-hmm. Completely ruined. And this was funny. I was talking to somebody about the masks, and Myers is obviously going through a certain amount of time before he gets back into action and tries to kill, Jamie here. And apparently, he goes through each flipping movie with a new mask. So I'm assuming.
Flipping.
Okay, fucking. But he goes through each movie with a different mask. So the only way I can rationally put this together is that he goes and shops for a new mask, And I was talking to this person about how...
Were you talking to your sister?
Yes. How we should see the scene, or there should be a scene included in these movies where he's purchasing the mask. And I pictured that it would be similar to the scene in No Country for Old Men where Antoine Chikar walks in and gives the clerk an ultimatum by calling heads or tails. And the guy's got to pick it. His life depends on it. And I'd love to see Michael doing that.
You know, that's a good point, because if we follow the timeline here, number 1, he's just obtained a mask. Number 2, it's supposed to be the same mask. Number 3, well, at the end of number 2, he lights on fire, so the mask is gone.
Yeah, it should be gone.
Okay,
Yeah.
And number 4, he's got a wrap on. I think it'd be cool if he wore the wrap the whole time.
I would like that.
It'd be nice if every time that the mask gets destroyed, he is just wearing something else.
I agree.
Because they can't get the fucking mask right. The mask is great when they get it right, which they don't.
And in this movie, 5, he does switch masks.
Yeah,
For a brief second when he's... Is it Tina? Is that her name? The girl I don't think it's Tina, but it's a random girl after he kills the other Michael in this movie.
Oh yeah, that fucking bitch that the Ramones didn't want.
Yeah. So he strangles...
That guy, yeah.
Yeah, he strangles and kills her. But anyways, he's wearing a...
some fucking oaf.
Some oaf.
Goddamn ogre.
Kind of looks like, what's his name from Sin City?
Oh, Mickey Rourke.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Mickey Rourke's character, but...
Now, that would be a sweet...
I was hoping he would have walked around with that mask throughout the rest of the movie, but he didn't.
Well, to quickly finish my thought,
Sorry.
The mask gets burned. He's got the other mask. He goes back to Haddonfield, like I discussed last time, and they still sell the fucking Michael Myers mask, but apparently really terribly done. So he puts that one on because he steals it from there at that time. He gets blown up at... This mask is supposed to be the same. Thank God it's not the same one, because that's terrible. But yeah, as we go, I mean, he goes to hospitals, mental places. I mean, he just fucking stops working for years at a time. And yeah, I think that there's at least 2 or 3 different opportunities where they should have just changed his mask.
Or,
get it right or change the fucking mask.
Or alter the mask a bit. Like, he goes through this disaster.
Yeah, have it hanging off.
Yeah, have it, like, torn or, like, something. I mean, it's clear he's...
brand new.
It's clear he's getting these somewhere.
He's got a guy. It's probably some kid that's just learned how to pull masks, because they're not done very perfect, but they're sufficient.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's got the Nick Cage mask. Where do we even go with this? He fucking wears this mask. It's typical Michael Myers, but like you've seen him before, but only worse. He terrorizes. He scrapes up a car with one of those claws.
Which I like that murdering device. That
is cool.
It's a classy tool to murder.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little... It's one of those things your mom digs in the garden with to till for her flowers.
Which are
like tiny little claw.
Yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous tool and probably should have never been made. But, it was made, and it seems to me that it's more useful for murder.
It's more... Yeah, it's cooler. Yeah. But you stab somebody in the head with that, and the cops are like, what the fuck did this guy get hit with?
Yeah. But with the whole telepathic connection, Jamie and Michael, I think we first find that when Rachel's killed. Because when she's killed, I guess Jamie can feel it because she can, I don't know, see Michael Myers, what's in his head or whatever's going on. I don't know. It's kind of like The Shining. They have The Shining.
She responds with like a...
Yep. With some weird fucking seizure. But yeah, we see that throughout the film now. Now this is where Michael starts chasing Jamie, and that's his next target, obviously. And she's being babysat by a new gal, and this is Lindsay, correct?
Yeah, this is Lindsay all grown up.
Mm-hmm. Not scared of Halloween. But Loomis warns Lindsay that Michael is on the loose, and that they better better take it easy and keep an eye out. But she has nothing to do with Loomis's talk and decides to go to the Halloween party. And this is where Michael decides to bash the party.
Right. And they concentrate all sorts of resources from the police department on chauffeuring these kids at a party for some reason.
Just cancel the party.
they're
Right.
they're sneaking around at a party. They're not old enough to go anyway, and
Well,
these cops are like escorting them, and they're like,
Here's the deal. Now, this town has obviously been plagued for over a decade of murder.
it's been
on
ravaged.
Halloween.
Ravaged.
Ravaged. So, with that being said, you think they would pay a bit more respect to people being killed.
Like
And-
Fargo. You think they fuck around and fake kidnap people in Fargo now?
Yeah, they
no,
don't.
they don't. You don't do that.
But
You don't make fun of fucking Michael J. Fox as fucking shaky Parkinson's. You just don't.
you don't do it. And that's what I was going to bring up is, when is it too soon? There's a character in here where he's dressed up as Michael Myers, and you actually think it's Michael Myers for a bit. And he's going to actually go to stab this girl, and the cops draw their guns, and they're going to shoot this kid. And he pulls his mask off laughing. I felt like that was joking
They're like,
about
"Oh,
9/11
hey,
a
whoa."
week. Yeah, like joking about 9/11 a month or two after it happened. You know, you just, I don't know if you do that.
Yeah, I mean, when is it too soon to make fun of the Seattle Supersonics leaving? It's the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be a grace period of like a decade. I
Yeah.
mean, even now, you make a World Trade Center like comment, and people don't like that still.
Oh, they don't. Yeah.
I mean, I guess rightfully so. But you know, the guy fucks the town up. Maybe if nothing else, out of respect, don't sell the fucking mask at your gas station.
Yeah.
He's getting them somehow. So yeah, so they go to that barn dance. There's a scene where the fucking most clearly gay man in the world is trying to fuck his girlfriend, and meanwhile Lindsay is prancing around and
Enjoying
also,
Halloween.
somewhere in this timeline as well, Lindsay has had a fashion show with an ogre of a boy who's dressed as a pirate. And this also takes place was filmed in Utah.
Ooh.
And
By chance, do you know where in Utah?
perchance, I think some of it's over in like the Midvale area.
Ooh.
I was looking at, they have maps online if you like look, and it'll show like pictures of then and now of like where the place is.
We should
Stuff like
go.
that.
We should go and
It's kind of by the comedy circuit.
we should go buy a selfie stick and take selfies in front of the places.
I don't have to selfie that selfie. Oh, dude, selfie sticks are so fucking ridiculous.
I don't understand them. They're so ridiculous.
Now, there's the selfie, which everybody takes. There's nothing wrong with that. You just don't want to be seen taking a selfie. And then there's the selfie stick, which implies you're in public and you're
Yeah.
taking a selfie.
Yeah.
And you're holding a stick around all day.
It's an odd tool.
It's fucking, I wish I would have invented it. I wouldn't be sitting here with you.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so he crashes the party, and he, not only crashes the party, but crashes the sex party in the barn.
Can I bring this up really fast?
Sure.
I've been operating under the impression most of my life, I've been trying to think, what is Halloween trying to say? This is it. Michael Myers is the ultimate cock block, and that's what he was made for.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Go ahead.
He does stop the fun, and if he's late doing it, he makes sure he kills you.
Yeah, you'll pay.
You'll pay the price. All right, so he does his duties in this barn. He kills the girl's boyfriend, and she successfully pulls the tool out from her boyfriend's corpse to use against Michael Myers, but it doesn't work.
Oh,
Do you recall that?
I do.
I know what you're going to say. The DVD.
You're not. Yeah, I was going to say, you're not going to guess what I'm going to say.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is a shitty movie, and consequently, this is a shitty episode. Before we go any further, though, Trevor, why don't you read the back of the fucking box?
All right. Yeah, we did skip that part, and I was hoping to skip it overall because this movie is really...
We're almost done, though, so just bear with us. We'll go on to the next one.
All right. So, because hell would not have him, Michael Myers survived the mine explosion, thought to have... let me rephrase that.
You want to just...
Should I just start
you
over
want to start
there?
over? Go ahead and start over.
All right. I promise I've only had one beer. Because hell would not have him, Michael Myers survived the mine explosion, thought to have killed him. 1 year later, his traumatized young niece, Jamie, Danielle Harris, is horrified to discover she has a telepathic bond with her evil uncle. and the uncle Michael is on his way back to Haddonfield. But Dr. Loomis, the late great Donald Pleasance, has a new plan to destroy the boogeyman in his childhood home using Jamie as bait. Tonight, the carnage begins again. Michael Myers is back with a vengeance.
Pretty neat.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it pretty much sums that up. I mean, we could literally stop here, I think, with this movie.
We could have just read the back of the box.
Yeah, we could have done that. If you don't listen to this show, we usually do the read the back of the box at the start, so you kind of get an idea of what we're going to be talking about. But
we're not phoning it in as much as they did in this movie. So,
yeah.
in all fairness.
Mm-hmm. So, the barn action.
Right.
Michael kills the slutty girl and the boyfriend that are having barn fun, right?
Chasing around, blood on the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, Jamie's in the barn. How does Jamie get in the barn, Steve? Do you recall?
Peeking through the keyhole.
Watching. Oh, man. But Jamie, I think, is... At this point, she's talking, right? She finally, like, shouting.
She learns how to talk.
Sure.
She's channeled her inner Donald Pleasance.
The rambling.
And is just talking away.
Yeah. But Michael turns his attention towards Jamie here, and Lindsay comes to save the day. But she fails. Michael kills Lindsay, right, Steve?
You know, I think
so.
All right, this episode is fucking terrible. But let me just say this. The problem with the Halloween series, opposed to any other movie we usually do...
Because you don't know.
Well, this is the underlying problem. Okay? You got Friday the 13th, better series.
Sure.
You've got the movies we usually do, and then you've got Halloween. Now, you might ask yourself, why are they not that excited to do most of the Halloween episodes? Here's the answer. Halloween takes itself so fucking seriously that it's not fun.
Yeah.
The difference between this series, which 1's great, 2's alright, the rest of them are pretty terrible, is they take themselves way too fucking seriously. They're not fun. They don't, like, dude, Jason Voorhees gets fucking ridiculous. There's not a single movie in Friday the 13th that's better than the first Halloween. But as a series, it's fun.
Yeah, and
this one is not.
And before it gets so boring with like Friday the 13th, they find great ways to just pull you back in.
Oh, dude.
Such as the hatchet to the head and the wheelchair.
Oh, that
man.
is, yeah, the fucking machete and he rolls backwards down the stairs. That is great.
That's classic.
Or you get fucking smack the girl with the guitar. Or those guys are listening to the ghetto blaster and he fucking kicks it out of their hand.
Or he simply just punches somebody's head off.
Yes, same movie.
Yeah. So
anyway, yeah. This is the worst movie. Well, 4 and 5 are the worst movies of the series. Mm-hmm. We're just trying to get you along.
Yes, I'll wrap it up. So Lindsay gets killed and Michael forces his attention to finish the deed with Jamie. So when he does... it looks like Loomis comes and kind of interrupts the party.
Does Loomis things.
He does a Loomis thing, and he guides Michael back to the house that this all started in. He kind of says, meet me here at 12 o'clock, and we'll have a shootout kind of thing. And so that's what happens. Now, Jamie goes as well, right? And, and Loomis uses him as bait.
He's using him as bait.
So,
dude, for a second, I couldn't even remember what fucking
happened.
I couldn't even remember how this movie ended. I was thinking, what? What are you talking about? Now I remember.
Yeah.
Right. So they're driving through that fucking forest in the car.
Yeah. He's chasing
Mongoloid kid and
Jamie
are running.
Mm-hmm.
Loomis and this cop bait Michael Myers into the house with Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
Now, before Loomis takes on Michael,
Jamie's
laying in this like coffin, which is weird.
Why is he sleeping in a coffin?
He's
what are you doing?
Yeah, are you Dracula?
They're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. But she's laying in the coffin and he goes to finish off Jamie to finish his work, and she stops him by simply saying, Michael, Uncle.
And it's like,
let me see.
Yeah, what are we watching?
Yeah, what is
God
this?
damn.
And she like touches her eye to like have him take his mask off, and he takes his mask off.
And it's just some fucking random jack off that's standing there. And it's like, this is Michael Myers' face. We've seen it before. It's a different guy every time.
Yeah.
And he cries, even though he should have his eyes shot out from the fucking hospital scene.
He should look fairly heinous.
Burnt to hell.
Yeah.
He should look like a monster.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he's still a pretty boy.
Mm-hmm.
He looks more like the singer from Red Hot Chili Peppers than Jason Voorhees, like he should by now.
Yeah, and because that happens, because you see him and he's a totally different guy, makes me think, what if Michael, the original Michael Myers, actually died in this fucking thorn cult?
We don't know about them yet.
We don't, but we're going to talk about
We've
them.
seen the Man in Black, though, kicking dogs.
Kicking dogs,
when he
doing
gets
a
off
whole
the
bunch of
bus,
different things,
fucking
wearing
shows up,
sweet cowboy boots.
fucking 12-inch dick. He's walking around flapping, flexing his nuts. This guy is
listening to Garth Brooks on his Walkman.
Dude, this guy is as close to the tits as you're going to get in this series, because Michael Myers is not it anymore.
Yeah.
They've got a dude wearing cowboy boots. He steps off the bus looking like fucking 80s John Bon Jovi. Leather pants, assless chaps, fucking duster. But can we just graze over what happens so we can talk about the very end? Because that's the best part, where this fucking sex machine is in it.
All right, yeah, so...
something about chains.
Loomis wraps it up, and before he chains up Michael Myers, he fucking has a heart attack.
He shits his pants and fucking falls on Michael Myers. Listen to that stupid soundtrack.
I just have to do that one more time. He should have done that right before he shit his pants.
Yeah, what is he doing? Does he die? You don't even know. Is Donald Pleasance actually dying? You don't know.
You think he's dead because he doesn't close his eyes. He has his eyes open like he's dead. Like,
I understand about Samuel, but I'm asking, I understand about Sam Loomis, but I'm asking, did Donald Pleasance almost die in this movie? They're just keep rolling. We don't have him for much longer.
Did I say cut? Did I say cut?
God damn it, he's just dying. They're like, no! So he falls on Michael Myers, who's laying in chains.
Yes.
After that, little Mikey Myers gets taken to the pen. And then we've got just the biggest poonhound in the world shows up in this fucking cowboy hat and his boots and the Man in Black, and he fucking machine guns him out of there in a comic book fashion.
Yes. It's pretty ridiculous.
Living on a Prayer blasts and the credits roll. And you're like, holy shit, it was worth watching that movie for this part that I just made up.
Yeah. But do you see what I'm saying about thinking that Michael is a new Michael?
Yeah, he looks different. I mean, Michael Myers has gotten a tattoo.
This is all new stuff. So it's like, maybe
it
Michael
sense.
died, and so
that's why he walks
They fed him to the pigs, and then this cult just possessed and got some other member to do the bidding. I don't know.
It makes sense. Their weight fluctuates. He's not eating, but his weight fluctuates. In number 4, his jumpsuit is bright ass blue. Mm-hmm. His mask is surprised or not surprised or scared or
some of the blue jumpsuits he's wearing make him look like he may or may have not shit his pants.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I guess it could be. It's not supposed to be. It's just terrible phoning it in, but
the continuity completely fails every movie.
Yeah, it's bad.
But we've talked about that. But I think we've wrapped up this episode.
We've beaten this dead dick. Now, why don't we just before we get any further, Trevor?
Yes.
Let me just say that you might like this movie if you like a clearly insane and clearly gay man having sex in a barn. That's not two different people. That's the same guy. If you like to look at masks and pretend it's Nick Cage instead of Mike Myers.
Like the beehive cage mask face Nick Cage.
Not the bees! Not the bees! Movies with a $3 million budget that look like they were made for TV movies, which I guess for the budget could be.
Yeah.
But we've already been spoiled with what you could do with $300,000. seeing a man stabbing a laundry chute. If you like seeing a knife used as a step.
What? Rehash.
That scene where he's trying to kill little Jamie Lloyd and she's in the laundry chute and he's stabbing the shit out of that laundry chute. And at one point the knife's in there and she uses a step and climbs up it to escape. Not as funny as it sounds. And finally, if you like a psychiatrist who's failed his patients so badly that he has to resort to beating every time they play the Halloween. It's insane. Every time they play the Halloween theme, it's so shitty. Him with a 2x4. Sorry, let me read that again. My mistake. It was supposed to be separated. If you like a psychiatrist who has failed his patients so badly that he has to resort to beating him with a 2x4.
Nice.
And then, as a side note, I had wrote, every time they play the Halloween theme, it is so shitty. It wasn't even an if you like. There you go. With that, why don't we go ahead and thoughts on The Mask, the score, and then we'll get into the dumpsters later. Go ahead and tell me about The Mask and the atrocity of a theme.
Okay. The Mask, to me, is the worst one that we see. I don't
It's
like...
bad.
You say 4 is the worst, 5's the second worst. It's flip-flop for me here. I hate this fucking mask. It's just so terrible. I don't like it at all. The fact that you get to see him flail again at the fucking beginning is just so ridiculous.
Yeah, the
Makes him
flail is the
fucking
worst part.
stupid.
It ruins this movie more.
Yeah.
Which is already bad.
Mm-hmm.
Could be this could be the worst movie in the series.
It's possible.
Because my only beef with the last one is the actor flails, the mask sucks.
Mm-hmm.
For this movie, the actor flails, mask is awful, plot is fucking horrible. It's just more of the same. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. The Michael just looks like a giant douche in this.
He acts like one too.
Yeah, he's not very scary. What was the next thing, Steve? The mask is terrible. It's the worst one.
And what about the score?
The score, as far as the movie's concerned?
Yeah, the movie score. As far as the sound, the soundtrack.
The sound. What
do you think about the sound you hear? When you're watching the movie, you hear the sound.
The score, like a lot of it's just play off of the original.
Rehash.
It's rehashed.
They're cutting out some of the notes. Have you noticed that though?
Yeah.
Instead of like it's like or something.
Do you know what I loved about 1 and probably it plays a bit more in 2? I loved the part of the score that they played multiple times. This one.
Yeah.
I love this.
This is a good part.
This is my favorite, especially when you hear the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, it's good. Now, they fuck this up as the movies progress.
Well, it's like
they change it.
And they also re-record the score with a fucking, some sort of little tiny portable Casio.
Yeah. And in 6, we're blessed with fucking Wicked Slayer fucking ghost note drops. Like the Wicked guitar over it and stuff. But, to me, the score gets worse and worse. And this one has met...
This might be the worst. The lowest point.
The lowest point of the franchise so far. Like you said, they take notes out of it. They speed it up. They
turn on distortion.
Yeah, it's
but
bad.
just a little. So it's like
yeah. I don't like it. The score is terrible. And this, like you said, I agree with you. It's probably the low point. Now, what do you got? What's next here?
Let me go ahead.
Okay.
I fucking think the mask's terrible. It is my second to last, the second to worst mask in the series for me. The last one, the fucking worst. Anyway, since I already talked about that last time, and you definitely listened to it at least 3 or 4 times.
Shout out to what's his name from YouTube. He really wants to talk, and I'm sure he may listen to this one as well, Steve.
Yeah, and definitely, girl's name's Lindsay.
It is.
First, I will. Oh well, if I could quote Bob, first to tear your clothes off, and tear my clothes off, and then we'll tear Lindsay's clothes off, right? Anyway, the The quote might have been out of order. But anyway, Mask fucking sucks dick. The score is absolute worst.
Yeah.
Now why don't we just go ahead and the actor is also fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Don't flail. It's fucking awful. But let's just go ahead and rate this dumpster fire.
Okay.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5 dumpsters?
Ooh.
The way it works, theoretical folks at home, is 1 is the best a dumpster fire movie can get.
Mm-hmm.
And by dumpster fire, I mean a B movie.
Yeah.
And 5 is an absolute dumpster fire, which is the worst possible rating. What would you give it?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it. I've seen worse, but this is bad, especially for the franchise. It's tough for me to give this a rating because if I was to rate it by just the franchise, this is a 5. This is a complete 5, but because there's movies like Final Exam and other things out there that are fucking terrible, I'm gonna give this a 4.
Would you really rather watch this than Final Exam?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I've seen this so many times.
Why? Does the same thing go in your mind that it does in mine? Every time watching it, I think, why
Jesus
the
Christ.
fuck am I watching this?
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought it was a good idea to watch the series because I watched one and I was like, yes, I'm going to watch them all. And by the time I get to this one, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
This is the worst.
You know,
I should just skip 4 and 5.
I should just go with what's his name? The actor from Halloween 3. What's his name?
Tom Atkins.
I should just go with Tom Atkins when he's screaming, "Shut it off. Turn it off. Turn it off." I should have listened to him.
Please, the other channel. Please, turn it off.
Yeah.
And you'll get to hear those impressions
Yes,
soon enough.
I can't wait for that. But in the words of Atkins, turn it off. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, it's terrible. You giving it a what?
I'm giving, overall, all the B movies I've seen, I'm giving it a 4.
But it's not. Okay, I'll save that for my own time.
Okay.
You ready for me?
I'm ready for you, baby.
This fucking movie is a piece of shit. It's a 5. Dumpster
Oh.
fire. It's not fun. Okay? If you're going to spend nothing on your movie and be a cheapskate, not pay anybody, be as cheap as you fucking possibly can, make it fun. I know that they think that this is scary, but it's not. Like, I guess, I don't know that they know that, because you can't think that and make this movie. It's fucking awful. It's the low point. The mask sucks. His hair's too fucking long. His mask is too tight. It looks like Nicolas Cage. The score is awful. I mean, okay, if you give me this movie,
yeah,
I feel like I can make it more watchable because, all of a sudden Michael Myers walks into frame and he's hanging brain for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up.
Would you feel that Mr. Cowboy,
Man in Black.
Man in Black, could have possibly...
I would have hired Bon Jovi for this a cool $3 million.
I would have had him in... I would have had Mr. Cowboy in this a few more times, maybe with his shirt off, shooting people with revolvers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We get greased
Michael.
up Bon Jovi, fucking his mullet in its prime flowing
Michael's
in the wind.
just holding him on his shoulders, and he's walking. No, but I think the cowboy kicking the dog is another thing for me to give it a 4.
That's the only good part of this movie.
And it saved it, I think.
Man in Black walks off the bus, kicks the dog, and you say, typical Man in Black. Anyway, it's a fucking dumpster fire. Piece of shit.
You gave it a 5. I think that's the first... Is that the first 5 you've ever given?
I want to say, I gave that to Night of the Demons.
Oh, yeah.
That movie sucked, but maybe... I hate to say it. Maybe
5.
I was a little harsh on Night of the Demons, but it's bad, so probably not. I don't want to watch it again, and that's a mistake I make with this every time. But we'll call this a dumpster fire, and I'll see you on the other side, right?
Yes.
Scream at us on Twitter at BMovieTrashTalk, at Trevor Turpin, and at Steve Norman.
They went to Cancun. We went to your brothers in Poughkeepsie.
This Halloween, find monster game pieces in Pepsi products and Doritos brand tortilla chips. The right match can win you thousands of prizes, up to $1 million.
Hands in the sink. The bad ingredients.
Look for specially marked packages. It could change your life for good.
You never take out the garbage.
Play Pepsi Doritos Monster Match for monster money.
Frank!
We're back.
And we'll be talking about Halloween 6, which is the
This is the unrated producer's cut that just recently came out. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, The Curse.
The Curse.
Of Michael Myers.
Yes.
Finally we know.
Mm-hmm.
We finally get some answers put to bed.
Indeed. And we are gifted with Paul Rudd's presence in this movie.
Paul Rudd's naked body. If you've not seen it, ladies, run out there and buy a few copies.
The king of the double layer t-shirting.
Oh, this is the man that brought back the cool in wearing the Canadian tuxedo.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie, September 29th, 95, a day before my 8th birthday, baby, came out. Budget, $5 million, made $15.1 million at the box office. You can see him sort of tapering away.
Yeah.
Directed by Joe Chappelle, written by Daniel Ferranz or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Anywho, why don't you read the back of that producer's cut, also known as the 666, Halloween 666 box.
So the unrated producer's cut, this is awesome. It features nearly 70 minutes of unedited footage, which, yes, makes this movie fucking longer. Yes, I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
Now, return to Haddonfield and experience the unrated and extended Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut, in crisp HD, taken from the original work print of the film. The producer's cut, often called Halloween 666 among fans, includes almost 70 minutes of alternate unedited footage, as well as a shocking alternate ending.
Oh, dude, you get shocked.
Oh, you get...
They'll fucking give you the shocker.
Also starring legendary actor Donald Pleasant's Halloween franchise, Escape from New York, and Paul Rudd, Marvel's Ant-Man.
That's what they come out and say?
Comma, this is 40.
What the fuck's that?
Yeah, that's bad. He's been in a lot of bad.
Ant-Man? This is 40? How about Wet Hot American Summer? That's a classy joint.
Yeah.
Maybe not commercial success.
Well, Ant-Man is one of those fucking stupid, huge Hollywood movies, and so, of course, they're going to put it on the box.
I would only go see Ant-Man, which I haven't, because I feel bad for Paul Rudd, and I don't want them to not put him in another movie just because they're like, you failed, Paul Rudd, you suck. It's like, whoa, it's the stupidest premise possible.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Now, in this movie, in the credits, it's quite funny that when they introduce Paul Rudd, they include his middle name, and I always fucking forget what his middle name is. They don't say featuring Paul Rudd. They say it's like
David
Paul
Roth.
It's like Paul Michael Rudd. That's just pretty funny. All right, Steve. Well, I know how excited you were.
I was excited, and you know what? It was $7.89 well spent.
Yeah.
I've always thought Halloween 6, a movie that's finally got its dick out of its brother's ass and put it in its dad's. It's finally going places, baby. And, it's got the curse. They got some stuff going on. The mask's a little better. The actor looks like he shit his pants a little less.
A little more, actually. You know those Halloween costumes that, like, you put air in to make you look fat?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
The blow-up ones where you look like you're riding a horse?
Those were like just like sumo like suits. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. He looks like he's wearing one of those.
Hey, it's because they got Kane hotter. Just kidding.
I wish.
They didn't. But anyway, okay, shits his pants a little more. Looks cooler doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, so you, audience at home, probably have seen the regular one. But I wouldn't blame you if you have seen this one because, well, this just barely came out on Blu-ray. Last year you could have gotten it in the Blu-ray 10 and I think 12 disc.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more discs.
I think you can get there's a 10 disc one and then there's a 15 disc one. And that
they got fucking, at that point, who cares? The series is not that good.
Yeah, you don't.
Give me one disc.
Yeah.
2 discs. I'll take 2 discs. You can fit 1, 2, and 3 on there, and you can fuck yourself with the rest of them. Now, yeah, so we're not going to really be going over the regular version. You've probably seen it. You were probably confused. Well, don't worry. Number 6 won't answer any more questions.
It won't.
But you look cool with the runes doing it. So why don't we just jump into this then?
All right, great. So the way it starts... we are introduced to Jamie. This is correct?
Full grown and 16 years old, though
Yes.
she looks like she's 25.
And she already has a child. Correct.
She was with child, now she has child.
Now, it starts out in kind of a weary, culty atmosphere. It's really weird. She's giving birth to this child now.
In the basement of the fucking mental ward.
Yeah, now they're
Psych ward.
they're gonna sacrifice this child to this weird cult or for this weird god. We don't know what's going on. But anyways, Jamie escapes. Some of the cult leaders help.
There's a very amusing scene with a nurse that looks like somebody's like, hey, our actress called out. Can we get your mom to come in, Dave? And Dave's mom fucking shows up and she's running around in her scrubs and it's like, oh, this way. First of all, I'm thinking, you dumb bitch. You are helping her. This is not only your work. This is a sick cult.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to... Well, just a minute.
Yes.
I got a text here. Just kidding. All right, let me give you this. I'm going to give you it now.
Yes.
I was going to push a button.
Oh.
If you stop your button, I got a button to push. So not only is this her livelihood, she's in a sick cult. There's a baby going on.
This lady's...
Stop the fucking music, Trevor!
This isn't mine. I think it's yours.
Whatever. I don't know what's going on.
I was like, whoa, is that mine? And then I look over.
I was like, when are you gonna stop it?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, if it is mine, I'll just talk through it.
Okay, that's what I was hoping. So sick cult. We got the nurse lady.
This nurse lady. She's helping escape, but you know what? She's helping escape. That's fucking Michael Myers' kid. You're walking out that door. You stupid bitch. Anyway, so she helps him escape.
And she's on the back of this DVD.
That lady?
Yeah.
The nurse lady?
Yeah.
She's in there for like a second.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
She couldn't invent herself out of a paper bag.
Oh boy. But anyways, she helps Jamie escape with the child. She's killed by none other than
the big boys.
The big boy, Mr. Michael Myers.
Yeah, you should have guessed it.
Yeah, he's already...
He could feel it down in his balls that his kid was getting away.
Yeah, he's already, in action here. So he kills her and he's chasing Jamie. She escapes and gets in a truck and drives off. Now,
the baby.
She decides to make a stop at what seems to me some sort of track or bus station. And, there's nowhere to go other than a restroom. And she finds herself there. She hides the child.
In the bathroom.
Can
I say something?
Go for it.
I feel bad for thinking it was you playing the music.
Sorry,
I told you to stop it several times. I feel like a goof.
Hey, I thought it was mine. It's okay. But she hides the child in there. Michael is, I'm sure we'll talk about, stupid for not going back in there and looking for the kid.
He doesn't go look in the can. You got to hear this baby crying.
Yeah. But she drops the kid off there and then decides to go into I don't know, the back of the station where there's some sort of gear garage area. What is this place?
Well, if you've never been to a hospital before, bus station hospital, you will know that there is a back garage
full
it
of
looks like
farming
a barn
equipment
that has all your basic farm equipment. Now, in the original theatrical version, what does he do to her? He throws her on the farm equipment and she dies.
Yeah, he throws her on, what is that? Some sort of till machine?
I don't know what that is.
But it, has blades on it, and I assume it folds down into the ground and kind of tills the ground. These blades move back and forth. But yeah, in the original version, he just throws her on it and she's dead.
But in this cut, she makes a getaway.
She gives the good old, "You'll never find the baby, Michael." And he says, "Oh, really, bitch? Well, we'll see about that."
So she gives him the slip.
Yep.
and she gets out of there. And from there,
Michael kills the garage dude, doesn't he? Because she steals the truck from the guy, and he's like, "Hey, that's my truck!" And then Michael like fucking kills the dude, and she pills out and gets away in time.
Yeah, that's true. That guy should not be yelling that stuff.
He's got a mullet. He's got a great hairdo, and it's unfortunate, but he is killed.
I don't know what more I can tell you about that guy other than he's probably like 50 years old, and anyway, so I think from there we jump to meet the family that's stupid enough to live in the Myers house, right?
Yeah, but you pass the part. I mean, he throws her on this equipment, and Jamie, he kills her.
In the original version. But in the producer's cut, he doesn't.
Oh. Okay, we're talking about the producer's cut.
She lives for like the whole movie until like the end.
Okay, I apologize.
When she has flashbacks of fucking Michael getting ready to shoot that inside of her like the prize horse that he is.
All right, so where are we at next?
So we go to visit the main characters of the movie, which are
Biff from Back to the Future. Just kidding.
We got the people living in the Myers house. They're the Strodes. They live there because one of the dad is brothers with Laurie Strode's dad, and he is not able to sell the house, so he lives there while he's working at his company. Who lives there with him is a very annoying guy that is supposed to be G, and a toad boy.
A toad boy. Looks really
like a toad.
That, and he kind of looks like Ken, our friend Ken.
More, yeah.
Like if Ken was a child, that's what Ken looked like.
And from there, we've got the fucking classy mom that slips her money and looks like she gets beaten on the reg.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, "God damn you, bitch.
Just give her all of our money."
Yeah, we're not living in the murder house.
He just slaps bitches around.
Yeah. And then you got the little boy, I think his name's Danny.
Yeah.
And he's holding a knife at the guy. And you're like, oh man, that Danny is a serious boy.
Yeah, he means business.
He hears the voices like Mikey Myers.
Yeah.
And then they go to school. And
so the mother of Danny.
Yep.
She's what would you say? Maybe late 30s? She seems late 30s.
She can't be that old.
She looks kind of old. But the reason I say that, is she going back to college? Further education? I mean, you got to think, Danny's got to be 10.
It's true, he is 10.
She's got to be
a solid 30. If she had him when he was
30.
8, she was 8. She would be 13. That can't be right.
Yeah.
But let's look at this timeline for a minute.
Yeah.
Jamie's about 16 years old in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's full-grown adult, running away, had a kid with her uncle. Jerry Springer material, maybe. But, so yeah, we get to spend some time following children from a town that are probably in their 30s around, that are depressed that there's no such thing as Halloween in this little town of Haddonfield.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fair to them.
No.
It's not fair to anybody. They live in the Myers house and they don't like it that they don't have Halloween. So we see our pal Paul Rudd creeping.
Yes, through his window. He's got the nice little camera and a telescope to watch the next door neighbor undress.
He lives in some sort of halfway house with a creepy old lady.
Yeah, it's really weird.
And apparently the girlfriend of Danny's uncle,
mm-hmm.
who lives in that house, she also lives in that house. Did you know that? She lives across the hallway from Paul Rudd. In that fucking house.
I don't remember.
And that. she mentions it. And she drives her car somehow to pick him up, to take him to school. But anyway, to pick up her boyfriend. Anyway, so yeah, we see Paul Rudd. He's creeping. Then, come to find out, everybody's pretty obsessed with the shock jock. And he takes calls. They talk about Michael Myers. People are obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And then we see old Loomis trying to get talked into showing up to come to work at the asylum to be the new guy.
To take one last Hurrah.
Before he fucking kicks the bucket less than a year after
Before
this
he
movie.
really shits his pants.
Yeah.
Now, before you jump further, Steve, I think it's quite important to discuss how fucking ridiculous movies were in the early 90s. Because there's always this factor of these people having technology and computers that didn't fucking exist in the 90s.
Type a bunch of jumbo and it pull up a picture of the rune.
Yeah, it pulls up like... You could probably do that now with apps and a nice fucking
Google.
laptop.
You could do it in Google.
Sure. But the way it works, like, they're doing this quick typing, and they have, like, these insane features. And we didn't review it, but we will. Brain scan. Same fucking thing.
We watched it.
We haven't reviewed it yet, but same fucking thing. This is, like, 95. Like, this is before the internet was huge, and this guy's, like, has this, like, master computer system. And I'm talking about Paul Rudd's character, because as he's chatting with the radio guy, he's sitting there playing around with his computer.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate that. That's so annoying. And the 90s are full of this, like, computer whiz shit. I don't know. Sorry for my rant there, but continue.
So, yeah, he does have a bunch of computer stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, but it does help the plot, because we find out
bunch of kind of backwards
some runes and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And turns out there's a little something called the Thorn Cult.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did do a little poking around on our friend Wikipedia that, bless him, I never pay. And it turns out that Thorn, the Norwegian Thurs, giant, it means giant, I think.
Okay.
Causes anguish to women. Misfortune makes few men cheerful. Old Icelandic is torture for women, and cliff dweller and husband of a giantess.
Wow.
And Anglo-Saxon, I think this is the one they were using. The thorn is exceedingly sharp, an evil thing for any knight to touch, uncommonly severe on all who sit among them. So that's what I was able to get.
Oh my Lanta!
It's a pretty cool little design. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I guess they did their research.
Something.
It wasn't too ridiculous. A lot of movies would have, and you could have expected it from this franchise to just make up some fucking ridiculous
I expected
bullshit.
it, so I was like, I'm gonna look.
Yeah.
Turns out, it is a thing. I mean, like, it's
a pagan thing.
It is a rune. So yeah, anyway, from here, we get to follow the lives of some kids. While they're at school, we see old Win and the talk show host guy, and he's like, is Loomis dead? And he's like, not dead, just retired.
As he's drinking.
Yeah. And he's working on his fucking
novel.
Filthy tell-all novel that he's writing, and
I wonder what his version would have been versus how Rob Zombie portrays him to kind of be this material dude.
He's just insane. The difference is the Rob Zombie guy, he almost gets killed, and like any sane person, they try to turn a buck because they don't want to go back to work.
No.
So yeah, I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Unlike this Loomis, who's gonna die old and burned and alone. Who he mentions in this
some sort of surgery.
He mentions it in this, but he doesn't mention in the theatrical. He does get surgery to remove that little tiny burn. So yeah, Wynn wants him to come back. Loomis isn't too sure about all that talk. We find that the shock jock is going to be showing up at the fair, and these kids are going to talk about how they want Halloween to come back in their town.
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
No, you're on track.
Sweet. So from there, why don't you tell me about that fair? Because this is in both the theatrical and the producer's cut.
Yeah, so let me remember here, Steve. The fair.
They got the shock jock. He's in his shorts.
He's in his shorts and that like dress coat, right?
Yeah, and he's like, I bet. He looks like my friend Jordan Vance.
Yeah, he does
like,
with
he's got the same fucking mustache and haircut.
Yeah.
I bet she wears crotchless panties and bugs like a dog.
So the fair is not your typical fair. It's more of like a town gathering.
It's
everyone's dressed up in their Halloween costumes.
humdinger.
What's her name? The interesting character and friend of Danny's mother that's dressed up as the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, that's Danny's uncle's girlfriend that lives across the hall from Paul Rudd.
Yes,
and I didn't catch her name.
I don't recall it either, but she's there, and
she's BOF.
Yeah, and she's
Bride of Frankenstein.
Yep, and she's with her boyfriend, Danny's uncle, right?
The gangster,
and he's dressed up as Frankenstein, and they get talking to the radio show host, and the radio show host probes him with some questions and finds out that they indeed actually live in the Michael Myers house.
Yeah, that's right.
So what are they going to do, Steve?
Well, fuck. Why would they have this show in the park when they could take it from the Michael Myers house?
Yeah.
So Jordan Vance gets on the horn, who's the shock jock, and he's like, "We're gonna go down to the Myers house, and then
catch us back at the Myers house after this break."
That Myers pussy, and because they didn't. I mean, it took me more than 5 minutes to set up this room, just barely today before we started recording.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving a radio show in the time it takes for commercial break and setting up.
Yeah, that takes some skill. I don't think
that.
they could have pulled it off. And
I mean, this guy's wearing boxer shorts. It's goddamn. It's chilly. It's brisk outside.
Yeah, and I think that's a tough task. And you know what? He does fail. He doesn't make it.
Right. He gets in the car or the van. He starts bagging on Michael Myers.
He gets chatting on the phone with somebody.
You know how those gals get. They start yapping on the phone, and before you know it, some guy in a mask comes up and fucking kills him and hangs him from the Christmas regular tree.
Yes. It's like Christmas and Halloween lights. I don't know.
Yeah, and the little girl's like under, and she's like,
"It's raining.
It's raining. It's warm."
98-degree blood dropping in the cold October weather onto you is not warm.
No. And
you're not going to be like, "Oh, that's warm." Come on,
yeah,
kid.
You're at least you're 8 to 10.
Fucking
you know,
twatter.
Come on. But
Grow
anyway,
up.
So Jordan Vance is hanging from this tree, dripping blood all over this child, and Paul Rudd walks up on this event and notices there's something a bit wrong with the situation at hand here.
Mm-hmm.
So the jockey falls out of the tree, and this is where they see that he's been brutally murdered and wrapped in Halloween lights. So from here,
we take it back to the Myers house.
Yes.
And over there, you've got Bride of Frankenstein, and
finally,
so you have BOF and regular F getting ready to F.
Yes.
And
you know, for your information, folks, if you were a fan of the Bride of Frankenstein, you notice she didn't want any at the D in that movie. In this movie, she wants all the D.
And let's not forget, they decide to go for the room of the sister, who happens to be across the street at Paul Rudd's room, learning about the rune, and looking through the window at them as
through the
BOF
creepy ass voyeuristic telescope.
And regular F get ready to be DTF.
Yes.
So anyway, they're over there effing and learning about runes and effing,
and Frankenstein decides that he needs to take a shower. He needs to get fresh.
Right, and the best part is he's showering. He goes in there without a towel like a fucking Goomba.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Give me a towel, babe. Oh, go help there." He fucking, what kind of dumb fuck does that in his own house?
Yeah.
You don't even prepare? Anyway.
Yeah.
So Michael Myers shows up doing Michael Myers things and fucks some shit up a little bit.
Ends the life of Frankenstein, and turns his attention towards the bride.
Yep.
And the whole time this is happening, Danny's mother is watching from the house across the street.
Cunning herself.
And she's watching, and she can see Michael right behind the girl. And before she can save her,
she gets it up the ass with a knife.
Yes. Seven style. No, just kidding. He wasn't wearing any weird masochistic leather blade suit.
Or was he?
Maybe he was.
So yeah, he kills her, and Then the sister, at this point, decides she's going to take her show on the road.
Yes. Well,
And,
no, Danny, like a fucking idiot. I don't know. He has some sort of...
He's got a mental disability.
He's gonna... Yeah.
He's
like,
Danny, Jimmy for me.
Yeah. He's a little slow in the head, but he decides to do what little kids...
ought to do,
and that's walk over to a house where people are being murdered. And so she notices Danny's walking across the street.
You can smell the fucking in the air.
You can smell the menstruation.
And it tracks Bears and Danny.
Yep. But Danny starts walking across the street and she can see him, so she starts following. And she has to make the choice whether to let Danny meet his demise or save him, and she makes the wrong choice.
She saves him.
Yep.
Fucking little Danny. So yeah, she goes there. Uncle Dickhead has been killed and is in the bed along with his fucking Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they got more candles in there than there need be.
It's a fire hazard. It's pretty bad.
And that's all I think Michael Myers didn't want the fire in his only house. That he has a catacomb under the house in Resurrection. Anyway, so some shit goes down. They end up back at that house, and she jumps out the window in a fashion.
Yes.
After finding out that the old lady, she's like, the little Mikey Myers heard the voices, and you know, we find out that the man in black isn't the sexy greased up Bon Jovi you had hoped.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately, he is the dad from Dharma and Greg.
Dharma and Greg, I forgot.
The fucking win, man.
I knew he looked familiar.
And he's trying to trick Loomis into joining his bitch plan so he can retire. And so all this shit goes down. Paul Rudd is unscathed, but the lady just fucking dives out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, you could try to cannonball out the window. No. She just fucking dives out the window.
Yeah.
After that, we are back with Jamie Lloyd, who is at the hospital.
And this is the director's cut, so don't be thrown off.
She is getting flashes of, like, Michael Myers, and he's strolling up, and they've got her legs chained apart, and she's not wearing any bottoms.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, Michael, don't hurt me. And he comes strolling up, fucking just raging boner in his hand. And
they just pumped him full of like horse fucking Viagra.
Yeah. And so they're trying to create this fucking baby, and
this mongoloid Down syndrome child, because if you don't know,
that's a nisht.
Yeah, that's a no.
And so yeah, he's getting ready to go down to Pound Town, and it doesn't show it, of course, but you know the implications. I'm watching this and I was like, God damn.
Yeah, this is pretty.
I can't believe they're going there.
Yeah.
But anyway, another thing that's interesting, producer's cut. Isn't the producer usually the guy with the money, so he gets the say? Don't they come out with theatrical, which is the producer's idea?
Yeah.
It's the one he says. And then the special one is the director's cut?
Yeah, so
this is somebody
it should be the other way around.
Yeah, somebody managed to dupe this producer into giving him the money, and no, we're not going to go with your ideas, pal.
Yeah. So the producer's usually the one that's, because they have
he gets the final say. He has the money.
They have to distribute this. They have to get people to buy it. So the producer's the one that usually says, yeah, incest rape is probably not a great idea, so we might want to cut that out. And the director's usually the one that says, no, this is my fucking artistic vision.
This is my vision.
This rape scene, this means this in some artistic form.
And since you can't procure any sort of ridiculous artistic vision out of this, there is a reversal.
Yep.
And so anyway, after all that thinking, Jamie gets shot in the fucking head by Wynn. She served her purpose. And we're back.
Now, Steve, what do you like better? Do you like the original or do you like the director's cut?
I like the producer's cut.
Or producer's cut, I mean, yes. So I really enjoyed the kill in the regular cut for Jamie.
That was great. He drops her on the spikes.
He drops her on the spikes, and then she mouths off to him, and he fucking one-ups her by turning the fucking machine on, which just like eats her insides.
That is a cool cut. And this was the first time I'd seen this one, so I missed it.
Mm.
I was like,
yeah.
But then we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But yeah, so we're back at the hospital. In the original theatrical version, Paul Rudd gets in a fucking pissing contest with Michael Myers in the basement.
Yeah.
And they start sticking each other with these needles and hish-hash, or chasing around, at least in the basement. It's really rather off-putting.
Yeah.
Now, in this version, off-putting it is not. Interesting it is. Let me elaborate. They're in the basement playing a game of hide the sausage. And what ends up happening is runes get busted out. And this time, baby, they're playing for keeps.
Oh, yeah.
So they dump the runes on the floor, and Michael Myers can't walk past them. And then something happens, and he's laying on the floor. And then come to find out, fucking Wynn gets his mask pulled off. Michael Myers gets his mask pulled off, and it's Wynn laying on the floor.
Yeah.
And Michael Myers is strolled away dressed like the Man in Black.
Yep.
And then you see the tattoo leave Wynn's wrist and show up on Loomis's wrist. Like, they were getting ready. They were priming for the next one to be Pleasance running the Michael Myers show.
You think so?
They had to have been. Because it disappeared and goes onto him, and he's the protector now. So when he's saying...
Maybe...
He wants him to have the job at the hospital. He doesn't mean, like, work at the hospital. He means your job is now... You're running Michael Myers.
You control him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could have been used for good, could have been used for bad. We'll never know, because Donald Pleasance gave up on life and died
of
old age. But you get a great scene with runes, and don't let anyone tell you that Dungeons and Dragons can't get you out of a pickle, because it can. So why don't you describe, do you remember the theatrical version, how it ends?
Yes. I've seen it so many times.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Well, we'll get to whether or not I like it more, but the way the theatrical version ends is, like you had mentioned, Paul Rudd gets in a pissing match with Michael, and I guess Danny's mother is locked in this room, and Paul Rudd breaks the door open, gets her out, and walks through this jail cell, because we're in a hospital and there's jail cells.
Yeah, in a mental ward.
Yeah, mental ward. It's like a jail / laboratory. But anyways,
hold on, before you finish.
Sure.
Can I say something real quick? I don't know if we brought this up or not.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is Tommy full grown, who was babysat by Laurie in the first movie.
That's
why he's weird.
Well, at the beginning, I apologize, we're not going shot by shot, but in the part where he has this elaborate fucking computer with fiber optic internet.
Oh, he's got a quick one. Faster than mine.
It's essentially a good 5 minutes of exposition. He talks about the whole franchise up till that date. And he talks about how he was the child, and he meets up with Loomis in the film and reminds Loomis as to who he actually is, and everything like that. So yeah, we find that out. But anyways, he does get in that pissing match. He saves Danny's mother. They slowly escape into this laboratory type area, and he hides Danny. He actually uses Danny as bait and hides him in this enclosed area. Michael starts going after Danny. And right when he goes after Danny, he's swiping this knife, trying to get in between these beams. Paul Rudd has this oxygen tank and just fucking goes to town on him. And he beats Michael, pretty much smashing his head. He just continues to beat him, and he gets out of control because he's kind of getting revenge on the man that kind of fucked his childhood up. So after he beats Michael to death, they move forward and leave. Now, Steve, do you have any idea, or do you remember how this ties in with the producer's cut? Because I know at the end they do get to a scene where Michael is where the runes are on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and Michael's mask is there, but
He's
there's no
strolling
body.
out. In the producer's cut, they don't do any of that basement shit.
Yeah.
Now, what they do is he's strolling down the hall at a vigorous pace,
Yes.
and they just dump out the runes. You can't walk past him.
Well, I know Paul Rudd, he studied it, little Tommy, he studied it, and what he does is he knows that Michael's under this weird cult, and so after he does his
cult of personality,
his fight and bashes Michael's head, and he goes there and tries to undo the spell with the runes, and Michael comes back and he does some fucking something to runes, and they supposedly think the curse is lifted.
It does change hands.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I don't remember exactly the ins and outs, but there's a lot less fighting. Now, what I do know is the regular version ends with a little bit of Loomis.
Yeah, he helps them fight off Michael once again, and this is at the end with the ruins. Mm-hmm. Tommy and Loomis team up to fight Michael off while Tommy tries to break the curse with the little fucking sack of rocks. But we find out that that they did, and even in the theatrical cut, you find out that they switched masks.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Michael gets away, and it's actually the Man in Black that dies.
Michael dressing like the Man in Black though.
He slips away. That's one thing they keep in the theatrical.
I thought they were just in the basement with Loomis, and it just cuts out to show the hospital, and then you just hear him yell. Rebel yell. Rebel yells it.
I don't know. I don't think so unless I'm just completely confused.
By now I might just zone out.
Yeah.
Like I'm ought to do.
Yeah, so the endings are completely different. I think it's
Why don't we just
a more important note, what's a better ending?
Apparently there was lots of different endings, and they ended up going with the runes for the producer's cut. The other one, I think that it's been said that Loomis was going to carry on this cult, possibly in future installments, but he died, so they ended it with him yelling in the basement, and that's it.
Yeah.
So who knows if maybe the theatrical one had to be tailored to make him die.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. He does kill Loomis, and it ends with him screaming, and then it shows the mask just laying on the floor, and Michael's gone.
Yeah,
so that
doesn't happen in the producer's cut. You don't see the mask.
Yeah, that happens in the theatrical cut. I don't know what they would have done with Loomis taking control of Michael. I think he would have just. I think that's where it would have ended.
Because Loomis is fucking geriatric.
I think that would have been a safe way for them to end it. I don't know. They would have to be a lot more elaborate and creative to bring the franchise back for another. I can't just see Loomis turning bad.
Not after all that alcohol abuse.
They just rent a fucking 1-bedroom apartment together and drink.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Well, I would say by now, it's time, Trevor.
Yes.
For me to tell you that you would like this movie. If you like Impregnation by Michael Myers, a baby Michael Myers wrist tattoos, and Paul Rudd doing his best Hannibal Lecter impression. Do you remember that? This is introducing Paul Rudd. The first thing we see Paul Rudd do, he's like, oh yeah, it was sort of like a combination of
weird.
Hannibal Lecter and the neighbor on Pet Sematary.
Oh, don't go down that road. Yeah. That's the ground sour.
Ground sour. Come down the ground and holy. Anyway, that's what I got. What do you think about this? What version is better? What do you think of the mask? And then we'll get into the rating later.
Okay. All right. So first off, we'll go with what version I like better. I like the theatrical version better. The reason I like the theatrical version better is because this thorn thing is fucking stupid.
But it goes on in the theatrical.
But not as bad.
Well, they don't bust out the runes.
Yeah, I mean, it gets way ridiculous. And I just think the whole cult and rune thing just makes Michael Myers a fucking dumb robot. Like, he's not killing on free will and being a psychopath because he just hates his family and wants to kill his bloodline. He's being forced to kill, which is ridiculous.
But is this idea that's propelled this movie a better idea than 4 and 5?
You bet your ass it is.
I mean, as stupid as it is,
yeah,
it's a better movie.
Yeah,
I think. Anyway,
it is a better movie. How
about The Mask?
The Mask. Oh boy. Now we talked about 2 focusing heavily on lighting Michael Myers' face.
Yeah,
they fucking shine spotlights on this motherfucker. Like, it's so bright. Now, this mask isn't the worst one. It's getting better. The hair's a little fucking weird, but
it's long.
It just, yeah.
He strolls around with his hair blasting behind him. Like, Did you ever watch The Office after Steve Carell left?
Yeah.
Do you remember the boss? The guy that intimidated everyone?
Oh, yeah, I love
too
that
smart?
guy. Yeah.
He walks around like that guy. Like, it looks like that guy's being Michael Myers.
And one thing I hate about this mask is, when you go and buy a Halloween mask, they have the kind that fit great over your head and they like stop under the jawline.
Mm.
Well, this is the type of mask that it doesn't stop at the neck. It like goes over the shoulders.
It's just dangling off of him.
Yeah, it's like one of those shitty masks. Like you can tell because he's wearing like the shitty blue jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And it's super loose around his neck and the mask is just still continues. It's
walks
ridiculous.
around like the prize stud with the glorious cock in this film. He's strolling to the point where his upper body is leaning so far back.
Yeah. Yeah,
he strolls. He doesn't walk anymore.
Yeah, the mask is terrible. The killer or the guy playing Michael Myers is just fucking stupid, and the jumpsuit is outrageous. It looks like it's 4 sizes too big, and it's too clean. Like he's too clean in this.
Yeah.
He should be dirty. Like unless he's going to fucking Walmart and buying these suits and masks every time he decides to go out on a killing spree. It's possible. I don't know. Now, lastly, Steve, the score.
Yeah, what do you think of the score?
I touched base on this, on the score for this on part 5, but it's like the 90s. It's like the 90s version of this score. Every movie they've changed it a bit to fit the time.
Mm-hmm.
This they add like the fucking crazy like whammy guitar bits and stuff, like the like it's super high. It's like an octave high. I hate it. I hate the score. It's bad.
It's already pretty high on the regular piano.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of the score. I think 5 was probably worse, but 6 is up there.
What
about you?
I think, as far as The Mask, it's a step up.
Okay.
And
it is. I agree.
I think that... So The Mask is better than 4. It's better than 5. Definitely better than 4. Way better than 4.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. You're going to have to tune in, I guess, for our Resurrection episode.
Oh, boy.
To find out our masks in order. But...
which we will both have.
Yep. The Masks, it's a step in the right direction. It's not great, but
it's a progression.
He doesn't look like a fucking incompetent fool anymore. The actor is not that great. He sort of seems overweight.
Yeah, he's a fat
he
slob.
Strolls and his fucking clothes dangle off him like it's his morning robe.
I guess when you're performing incest on the reg, I would assume that you just
don't care.
Completely forget and disregard your hygiene and
sexual appeal.
Yes.
The score, I don't really remember the score too much, so I'm gonna say just another shitty rip-off version of the first one, which it is. with that being said, I think the producer's cut is more fun. I thought the regular version was definitely a step in the right direction, way better than 4 and 5. Even though it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you have to keep in mind, all I ask is to be entertained. And god damn it, I was entertained during this movie, especially the producer's cut.
Yeah.
Fucking runes, ridiculous. But it's hilarious to see a man that's in his 70s laying on the floor wearing a Michael Myers mask. So, yeah. What would you rate this with our dumpsters? 1 being the best, 5 being a dumpster fire.
Well, I'm going to give this... I'll give it a 3. Now, reason I give it a 3, huge fucking step up from 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they spent some time, even though they spent some time putting some writing into this.
$2 million more.
Yeah, and they put the time into it, and it's not, even though it's ridiculous and it kind of, at least for me, ruins the Michael Myers mystique and everything like that.
It's not.
It's a better movie. They have better actors. Paul Rudd's in it. It's not his best performance by far,
but it is his first.
But he does fairly well. Even though the mask and the jumpsuit's bad for Michael Myers, it is a step up. The score isn't bad. Nothing jumps out at me that makes me think it's worse than 5. So, yeah, I give it a solid 3.
Man, it's got to be close to 3, I think. I would just say 2.88.
Nice.
It's close. I mean, I like it.
I like the updated version, like with the deleted scenes, and
it's nice that, I mean, it would be nicer if they would have given you any bonus features on this Blu-ray, but it's nice that seeing it in HD is cool. I mean, it's legitimately 73 alternate minutes.
Yeah.
Which is great. Now, they may be similar minutes, some of them, but they are alternate. You're like, if you've seen the regular one a lot and you watch this one, you're like, whoa, this is a different movie.
Yeah, you're completely thrown off.
You don't expect what's going on, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like it. 2.88. And I'd be willing to say, as ridiculous and zany as this is, they should have made more movies this ridiculous and zany in this series. That's the problem with the series for me.
They started...
It's too fucking serious.
Yeah. And
if you're making a piece of shit, make that piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what? Be proud that it's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Acknowledge it's a piece of shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they started a little too late on
and then they
getting
didn't
ridiculous.
go anywhere.
Yeah.
They didn't continue with the penis honking and the fucking wacky noises, which is what they should have done.
Well, that's number 666. So we'll take a quick break and we'll be back with number 7.
H2O.
Yes. All right, we're back, and we're going to finish up this episode with number 7.
Halloween H2O.
H2O.
20 years later.
Now this...
What a name.
Yeah, I know. It's named after water.
And fucking 20 years.
Now this was one of the Halloweens that I watched way too much. I remember when this bad boy came out, and this was before... way before streaming, and still in the rent the video
this was way
stage
before
of my
fucking,
life,
like wireless internet.
Yes, but I was really into ordering pay-per-views when my parents weren't watching.
Daddy's credit card.
And so I remember I ordered this movie and I recorded it on VHS and I watched it fucking every day for probably like a month. I don't know. I like this one.
It's decent. It takes forever to get to the point, but
it does.
It's way better than a lot of the other ones we've just seen.
That's definitely true.
We're not doing better than this the rest of the series.
Oh no, it takes a giant shit once again. But it is the return of Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, made in 1998, directed by Steve Miner. You know who that is? It's our buddy from Friday the 13th, Part 2 and 3. He was the director. Yeah. Budget $17 million, made $73 million. And
that's a big budget.
Well, they had to
pay Hartnett. Right?
They had to pay Jamie Lee Curtis. Somebody has to pay the lap dances for Jamie Lee Curtis. Somebody had to pay for LL Cool J's fucking artistic writing.
And somebody also had to pay for Ben Stein to take his glasses off and quit fucking talking like an idiot. It's really not Ben Stein, but
yeah. Why don't you go ahead and read us what is elegantly written on the back of that box.
All right. So this smart and suspenseful thriller scores up a bone-chilling good time with original Scream Queen Jamie Lee Curtis, True Lies, Halloween 1 and 2. Now, and a hot cast of hip young stars.
It's the Scream of Halloween movies.
Yep. Now, the headmistress of a private school, Laurie Strode, Curtis, is still struggling with the horrifying 20-year-old memories of the maniac killer Michael Myers. When he suddenly reappears with a vengeance, this Halloween, his terror will strike a whole new generation. Laurie's rebellious son, Josh Hartnett, I love how they quote The Faculty.
That was a fucking classy picture.
And his girlfriend, Michelle Williams, TV's Dawson's Creek, and the school security guard, LL Cool J, when he liked to eat a lot. This is before he got all buff. He was a fat lard in this movie.
Yeah, this was before the sitcom he had, I think, or maybe after. I don't know.
But,
he wasn't in shape.
And that crazy school guard. They will become Michael's newest victims unless Laurie can conquer her greatest fears and put evil into its place once and for all.
Back to bed.
Yes.
So, that's the movie. Basically, the movie starts with a break-in on the 28th of October at a nurse's house, which was the original nurse from the first movie that was driving and handed over that car to Michael Myers when he stormed the keep.
What a way to kick the bucket. You have this close encounter with Michael fucking 30 years back, and all of a sudden he comes back and just puts an end to your life. It's pretty interesting. Now, is she supposed to be that nurse, or is she just making a...
It is that lady, isn't it? I think it's that lady.
I don't know if it's that lady or if they're just trying to, like, have her on there as a nice little drop for the movie.
Hi, LL Cool J.
Just a minute.
That was me, LL Cool J. Before I started using swagger, Old Spice. Now look at me. Nice.
I fucking love that.
Oh
that Old Spice commercial.
Jesus. But yeah, it starts with Breakin'.
Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, house gets broken into. Pretty sure it's supposed to be the same nurse from the first one.
Yep.
Who does she go to look around her house to make sure that there's not a bad guy in there? I'm glad you asked. Tommy from Third Rock.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's her pal's name? Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, I forgot he gets his ass kicked in this.
Yeah, he goes strolling around with the hockey stick, looking around, yelling, takes a couple of beers, goes back home, and immediately gets diced.
Yes, with an ice skate.
Yeah, right to the fucking upper body.
Yeah. Yeah, so he gets diced there, but then it then jumps. I don't know. Would you say somewhere in California? Somewhere in Southern California.
Yeah, we jumped to. I think it's Northern California.
Not one of the places. I don't know.
Somewhere in California.
They're both overpopulated.
Before that, though, Michael leaves the house with Laurie Strode's file.
Oh, yes.
That's important because he knows now. You got 3 days to fuck her life up. You got to find her.
Yes.
From there, yeah, we go to California. It's on Halloween Day, and Laurie is the head mistress at Hillcrest Academy, which is a private boarding school for rich douchebag kids.
Yes. She's obviously changed her name.
Yep. She is now... What's she?
Her new name is... that's a great question. It's important. Really doesn't... I really don't know.
Fuck it. It's a stupid name. So yeah, we get to follow her as she manages her affairs. Children are taught about Frankenstein in an amusing parallel with this film.
It's quite obvious, too, that she's still struggling psychologically.
I mean, she's a booze hound.
Yeah, a booze hound, and she has an asshole child.
Yeah,
who's grown.
Can't fucking comb his hair.
No.
Stupid looking. His name is Josh Hartnett, and he looks dirty, like his dick smells like old cheese. So we follow these people around for the better part of our lives.
Yeah.
As they do prep school things, have prep school problems, like can't go to Yosemite, mom's too rich, and dad's got an Adam Sandler problem. Stuff like that.
So I guess to cut to the chase, Josh Hartnett and his friends decide that they're going to pretend to make the trip. Correct, Steve?
Yeah, at first he's not allowed to go to Yosemite, but then after bitching to his mom about how his dad was like some fucking crack addict or something and his dad left her, she decides to let him go. He's like, Uncle Michael Myers, not scary. And so she's like, all right, I'll let you go. But he was already planning on having some sort of fuck fest in the basement of this place.
Yeah.
With his friends.
Mm-hmm.
And
with his friend that was once sucked into the Jumanji game and
was that
turned into Robin Williams.
Was that him?
Yeah. I could fucking recognize that honker.
Kid's a goon.
He's a goon.
So yeah, they throw a little bit of a macaroni party in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, yeah, but they're getting ready to do that. We get to see somewhat of a psychological profile about how Jamie Lee Curtis is a raging alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. And she's still trying to fight off.
She's fighting off
her problems with
demons,
Michael.
Brother.
She sees him. I mean, it's common throughout this movie, and I think it's kind of a setup and payoff that works pretty well. But she always sees Michael Myers. Like she'll see him outside or like in the doorway, and then she closes her eyes and kind of squints and realizes it was just her mind playing tricks on her.
And and so we see this in a sort of soap opera feel, and
the end of a Jamie Lee Curtis fling with Ben Stein's brother.
Yeah, there's a cat there, and he's a teacher, and they are dating.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, the kids have got their deal going, and Michael Myers chases Josh Hartnett around, and he gets stuck in between a fence.
Yes, so, Michael Myers gets past LL Cool J.
Okay, before that, we got LL reading his homemade wife porn, which is just his romance novels to his wife with his illustrious melon breasts.
Yes. And Michael pulls up to the gate in a truck that he had stolen.
From the guy from Jeepers Creepers.
Yes, that he had actually lifted from some lady in the middle of nowhere that decided to stop and
her kid
use the restroom.
A can.
Yeah. But anyways, Michael sneaks in that way. He decides not to kill LL Cool J, but stalks him profusely and then walks off and decides he needs to go finish business.
Yeah, he doesn't kill him. That's not Michael Myers to me.
Mm-hmm.
He kills everybody in his way, usually.
Yeah. So this is where Jamie sees Michael standing in the dark, I believe. And he's standing like down the street, and she closes her eyes and opens it, and he's walking towards her. She closes her eyes, opens it, and he's walking towards her, and she realizes that it's Michael, but isn't it LL Cool J?
He's walking towards her.
Yes, and don't they shoot him? Or am I jumping the gun here?
Jumping a little bit.
I'm jumping to the end already because I want this to be over.
Yeah, it's as much better as this movie is than some of the movies. There is about an hour's worth of just fucking boring penis butt.
Yeah, they focus way too much on the characters, I think.
Like, let's show characters family dynamic with this fucking greasiest douchebag and his girlfriend, and
yeah, so they're having this shindig in the basement, and they're getting food ready and all this stuff, and Jamie Lee Curtis finds out that the kids are actually there, and the way she finds out is because Josh Hartnett runs into Michael Myers.
Yeah, and there is a pretty fun scene where he gets trapped in between a little fence. They have like a sort of fence.
It's like a gate right before the door.
Yeah, it's like a cheap hotel in a major city that on the bottom floor level that's got a gate to lock in front of your door. And so he shuts the door. Michael Myers is slashing his knife around, and Josh Hartnett's trying to get in. He gets in the door finally of his house. The door shuts.
Jamie Lee Curtis finally
looks out and is face to face looking at Michael Myers.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That scene was awesome.
This mask was most of the time a mask, sometimes CGI.
What do you know? What parts were CGI?
Oh, it's CGI? Some parts are noticeably CGI.
Huh.
Like, I've read that it was CGI, so I looked for it. Definitely CGI.
You can tell, huh?
You can tell. A bigger problem, though, is if they're going to CGI stuff, CGI those fucking eyes out.
Oh, I know. But, make them dark, I agree.
Yeah, so he goes in there. That's where the trouble begins. And that's when LL Cool J busts out of nowhere, and the boyfriend is like, oh, and shoots LL Cool J, clearly killing him because there's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Only for him to come back later because it grazed him.
Yes, but after Ben Stein makes the huge mistake shooting the wrong guy, Michael comes out of the dark and puts this knife into his back and lifts him into midair.
Meanwhile, he's doing these lame fucking lifting himself from the rafters with one hand. Where did he learn this? He does this throughout this movie and the next one. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
where'd you pick that up? Did you get a ladder and climb up in the roof so you could lower yourself down with one arm so you can surprise people? Like, that is the lamest move.
There are some pretty cool kills here when he starts killing the kids. He gets inside. Because Josh Hartnett and his girlfriend, Jamie Lee Curtis, know that Michael Myers is present, but the other kids do not. So the kid from Jumanji is...
Real hamster dick.
Yeah, ready to get his dick wet, but I believe he has to go up to the kitchen to grab something. I don't know if it's beer or whatever.
He needs to get a wine cork.
Ah, that's what it is.
They should have just done the old-fashioned, either
pushed it in,
stuck a knife out and pulled it out, pushed the cork in, or God forbid, bust the fucking top off that bottle. You're pouring into a glass anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
These kids aren't inventive enough.
No.
When I wasn't old enough to buy my own alcohol, you figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
You don't fucking penis butt around and then don't ever drink any of it. Fucking break that bottle open. Jesus.
He goes up to get the cork out of the wine bottle and is greeted by this huge Michael Myers. Now,
raging hard on.
Yeah, so I feel this is probably the first Halloween, or the Halloween before Rob Zombie completely, turns Michael Myers into a giant. Michael Myers is pretty fucking big in this.
He grows every movie.
Yeah.
The first movie, Castle was 5'8" or 5'9". Definitely 5'9" the next movie.
Yeah.
The next one, he was about 6 feet. By now, I think he's 6'3".
He's
the actor
huge.
is 6'2" or 6'3".
Yeah.
He's growing.
Yeah.
Because Jason's a big boy.
And yeah, exactly. Jason, he has to compete with Jason. But the good news is that he decided to lose the front butt in this one, because he obviously had one in 6.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about dumb waiters?
All right. So he decides to put Jumanji in his place by simply slitting his throat and throwing him in a dumbwaiter. Now, because the girlfriend's waiting for the wine, she decides to come up and give the kid a hand. Now, she sees blood on the floor and decides to follow the blood, and it trails to the dumbwaiter. She opens it, and she sees that her boyfriend lies with his throat slit. And as she starts to panic, we see Michael's shadow, and he walks in. Now, she decides to get in the dumbwaiter and go down. Or wait, maybe I'm backwards here. She decides they're on the bottom floor. She decides to get in the dumbwaiter and go up. And as she goes up, she gets caught under the dead body and struggles to get out when she's on the top floor.
And here comes the most kick-ass scene.
It's pretty fucking cool.
He fucking gets the dumbwaiter right on her leg.
See, I feel that Michael, his IQ,
he has to be a baby genius.
It's a little higher than some of these killers that we've seen in some of these other slashers, because instead of going back up the stairs, he opens the bottom of the dumbwaiter and he just cuts the fucking rope.
Well, let's not get started in his IQ, because first of all, he knows the exact place to show up for the power grid, to throw a worker onto the thing and cut the power. He knows where your phone line is, because he'll cut that fucking thing before he enters your house every time.
Yeah, that's true.
He is a genius.
He is. He plans it. Plans it through.
Yeah, so he's fucking these kids up.
Snaps her leg in half because he cuts the rope on the dumbwaiter and it just drops on her leg.
That'll show her clear the fucking entryway.
And she slowly crawls around on the floor, and he just puts her away, puts her to sleep.
Then we've got a cat and mouse game with Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
She's hiding under tables. He's strolling around on top of them.
Yeah. But this isn't before she tells her son Hartnett and his girlfriend to leave. She gives him the keys. Remember, they decide they're going to get in the car and drive off and leave because he's stabbed. But right before she goes to drive, she gives him the keys after they break the gate, or they get to the gate, and then she needs her final time with Michael. And so it's kind of just this one-on-one matchup with Jamie Lee Curtis and Michael Myers.
So yeah, if you can imagine Mousetrap, that's what goes on. The game. And then eventually, she's on a balcony and she just starts stabbing him. And then he just does this fall onto a table that looks very painful.
Oh, yeah.
And he's looking pretty dead. So you've got the ambulance and everybody rushing in. They load him up into the ambulance. And you're like, oh, okay, it's the end. Nope. Grabs a fucking axe.
She wants to make sure that she finishes the job here.
Yeah, so she grabs the axe. She steals the ambulance. Drives really fast. He gets up. He does his classic, but a really shitty version of it, where he sits up. She slams some brakes. He's
flailing around in this bag, moving around. He can't figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah, and this thing just starts rolling down the side of a mountain. And he gets thrown out and pinned by this. She strolls up to him, gives him a look, and fucking chops his head off with an axe.
Yep. He reaches out to her.
Yep.
And I think we'll get to this going into the final Halloween, but he reaches out to her, and she feels some bit of empathy towards him. Because
like,
she feels that
you ruined the last 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
So
here's an axe. But, to jump back to the end of this where the ambulance puts him in the body sack, and throws him in the back, do you think it runs through her mind that, wow, if I grab this axe and steal this medical vehicle, I'm probably going to go to prison for a good... Because doesn't she threaten... She threatens the police and the paramedics and things to steal the vehicle.
She's holding an axe.
Yeah, so
she sort of aggressively moves towards them.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, cool.
Well, one thing you have to remember, though, is she's been worried about him showing up for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And is worried about her kid. So at this point, sometimes you're just like, let's just call it a day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care where I go as long as this fucking guy is not going to kill me anymore.
Yeah.
So I assume that's what happened. But yeah, it's a bad move. At least she according to this movie's logic, sees it through and gets her money's worth. Now,
Sure.
we'll find out later that she
Wrong
doesn't
move.
get her money's worth, but for now, it looks like she did.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she cuts his head off.
Yeah.
Goes rolling around.
Yep. And that's it.
And, yeah, so for this movie, Trevor, I think you're going to like this movie. If you like...
Wait for it.
Loomis impersonator overdubs.
Oh,
you remember
yeah,
that?
I do.
Fucking just use the real lines.
I did like the intro to this. How it's kind of like setting up the movie and the whole franchise.
Yeah, but we had these lines from Loomis recorded already. Just play them.
That's true.
If you like Tommy from Third Rock, if you like greasy dirtbags with messy hair, LL Cool J reading his own romance novels,
and fat,
magical bullets that don't really kill men, like LL Cool J.
Yeah.
A Michael Myers that looks like a Dr. Seuss character. And this is for you, Josh Hartnett. Neck moles.
Oh boy.
That's all I could look at.
Now let's talk about the continuity.
There is a little bit of a continuity split.
How difficult would it be, and frustrating, to have to do Josh Hartnett's fucking hair for the scene the following day?
Well,
because it looks like he just woke up, but like it would need to look the same.
You just tell him to fucking rub his head all over his friend's ball sack, and then it'll look just fine.
Doesn't it blow your mind that some of these people were so huge and like were these huge heartthrobs, and then you see them like 15 years later, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Well, this was then. I mean, this was just before Pearl Harbor, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, but he
was a slimy fucking dirtbag. Anyway, it makes me sick.
Yeah.
But that fucking douchebag was in movies, making money, not doing anything.
Yeah.
When he's not that good at acting.
No, he's
His
terrible.
character in this, at least, is lame as shit.
Yeah.
And he looks like a fucking stupid Goomba.
And he actually cries when he's sitting in the car. And he's like crying because he's bleeding from a stab wound. Which,
bitch.
you know, hey, if I got stabbed, I'd probably be pretty fucking sad about it. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You know, I may shed a tear or two, but this is a goddamn movie. Like, you're not supposed to fucking cry, man. Like, what are you doing? You're crying like a bitch in front of your girlfriend, your mom. Like, I wish Jamie Lee Curtis would have slapped him in the mouth while he was crying.
I was dead. I shot him 6 times.
No.
Nah. But yeah. So this was the series' triumphant return. Congratulations. You've made a movie that would be somewhere in the middle of any other series.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, what do you think about old MM and The Mask?
Mm-hmm.
And the score. It was noticeably different this time.
Sure. I'll start with The Mask. Not bad. I think heading in the right direction, especially after 6. It's definitely not the worst Mask.
Especially after 4.
Yes, that's right. I'm trying to get a picture here to kind of look at it again to refresh my memory. But
they're always better in your mind. And then every time I watch them again, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. But the fact that you had stated that they use CGI, which I'm definitely going to go back and look at.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes where it's clearly CGI.
What? Give me a scene.
I want to say it's more gray than usual. I want to say he's looking.
I will say
I don't remember. I think it might be when she first becomes face to face to him. I can't remember exactly though. Oh yeah, look at that fucking long hair.
Yeah, it's bad.
Why is it so long? He looks like Thing 1.
He does, and you can definitely
see his eyes. He looks
his
like a clown.
eyes are bad. Like what's bad too about this mask is the eyebrows. They look like
painted on. Surprised.
Like a Chica Hispanic eyebrow. They're just super prominent, and in the other masks you could barely see.
Yeah,
them.
they're supposed to be painted over. And another thing, it's easiest to notice when it's a CGI when you look around his eyes and it looks like it's just face paint.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to rewatch
Just
that.
Pay attention for that.
I will. Mask, it's a bit better than 4 and 5, but I still hate it. The hair sucks and the eyebrows are painted weird. The killer, though, is a step up. I think the guy playing Michael Myers is bigger. He doesn't look like he eats fucking boxes of corn dogs on the regular.
That's all he could afford. With those budgets, that's all he could afford. The cheapskate nickel and dime fucking Mustafa Akkad.
Yeah.
The real curse of Michael Myers is Mustafa.
Yeah.
Brings him back every time.
Yeah. Now next, you wanted me to go over the score?
Yeah. It's a variant on the score.
Yeah, I don't really remember the score too much. I know there's a lot of jump scare noises in this. But I mean, I think they follow the older score, and they don't change it so much that it's ridiculous. But I didn't mind the score, but it really didn't make a significant impact in the movie either. So I'm kind of on the medium there. What about you, Steve?
I think The Mask is getting better every time.
Yeah.
This is one thing where after 4, it progressively gets better. So The Mask's all right. The hair is fucking ridiculous. The CGI mask is stupid.
Yeah.
Like, we invented CGI. Let's use it all the time. You don't need it. I don't like seeing the eyes. It's stupid. He's called the Shape, not the Man.
Yeah.
Not the Mask. One thing, though, I don't love the score, but I don't hate it. Now, what reminded me to bring it up was the fact that there is a noticeable difference on the main theme. When it's playing, I think it's at the beginning of this, and it's like dun 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 dun, dun, and it sounds like a lot like the original one.
Yeah.
But there's like an orchestra behind it, and it's like making all these noises, and it's way different. The original one I think is better, but this one is gotta be like, it's up there in the top 3 of the series scores. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you're
it's
right.
Not
it
fucking
changes.
dumb.
They change it, but it's not like ridiculous.
Yeah. Because sometimes they get really stupid. So yeah, that's what I think with the score. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5 dumpsters? 1 being the worst, 1 being the best, 5 being an all dumpster fire. I don't want you to prorate it for the series. What do you give the movie by itself?
I don't know, probably like a 3.5.
So this is worse than 6. Because you gave 6 a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say so. For this reason, I liked this movie a lot when I was younger, but it was probably due to the fact that I didn't watch.
You didn't have the other ones?
Yeah, I didn't have the other ones to kind of judge and watch, but this was just kind of your typical run-of-the-mill, like,
shitty
part 4 to 6, but I mean, this is actually 7.
Mm-hmm.
So it just wasn't the only kind of interesting script drop is really the fact that that Laurie Strode didn't die, and that she's living this life under a different name, and I mean, she's finally found. But I mean, it's just your run of the mill. He finds her, and she's just fucking uglier and has a child. That's pretty much it. But the killer's better. He doesn't look like a sack of fat shit in this, and some of the kills are pretty cool. But it's not. 6 just went over the top, and they try to go serious again. And that's why I think 6 is better than H2O. Not by much, but I'll give 6 credit where it's due.
Yeah, I think I'd give this a 3 dumpsters. The last one is 2.88.
Yeah.
It's more entertaining. This one is just a lot of fucking dragging it out, and then finally stuff happens. It is definitely one of the better ones.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a top 4 and then a bottom 4.
You know what's annoying? I think the reason it drags so much ass is because they focus more time on the characters.
It's like you're watching the WB.
But the reason they do is because they have like a decent cast in here. So they're trying to give these people star time, and it's like, fucking just stay to the formula. Like, kill him.
We could use some Loomis.
Yeah. I wish Michael would have scalped, what's his name? Fucking Hartnett.
Hartnett
pulled that fucking
shitty
bed head
haircut.
right off his fucking head.
Stuck it up his fucking tight little ass.
But anyway, sorry for interrupting, Steve.
So yeah, 3. I think The Mask is helping probably.
Sure.
It's better. But yeah, it's a step in the right direction. If it was me, I'd probably go 1, 2. I mean, 3 is a golden god.
Oh yeah, but that's a different story.
Yeah, it's a different story
day.
altogether. So 1, 2, and I would include 6 and 7, and just fuck the rest of them. They're terrible. It's not to say that this one and the last one weren't great, because they weren't.
Yeah.
But they'll give you something to do.
Sure.
And so anyway, yeah, I wish that there was more stuff going on.
Yeah, they completely just dropped the whole cult thing.
Yeah, they did, because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
let's forget about that.
I think in order for me to raise the score a bit, he would need to stop doing those dumb one-handed lift downs
from
the rafters. What is that? This guy's like 50-something years old.
Yeah.
By now. I mean, 20 years later, so he's like he's in his 40s.
Yeah.
You're not doing one-arm lift downs in your 40s, dude.
No, especially after the beating he's taken over the past few decades.
And sure, he's living off rats and just straight protein, but still, you're not doing that. So yeah, I'd give it a 3. I would definitely watch it, but with your clothes on.
Yeah. Don't get too crazy with this one. I agree. Well, that's the wrap up for almost the whole full wrap up for the Halloween franchise. We have one more that we need to do, 8, starring Busta Rhymes.
And then we're going to give you a proper B movie, which is number 3.
Yeah. So I guess we'll do a quick rundown of Halloween 8, and then we'll focus our time and energy on, I don't know,
one of the best movies in this series.
Yeah, definitely one of the best movies. But other than that, you can always listen to us in iTunes, subscribe, and if you'd please leave us a rating, leave us some stars. Hell, you can leave any comment you would like, but just make sure you check 5 stars. That definitely helps us. You can also scream at us on Twitter at B-Movie Trash Talk. You can get it at me, at Trevor Turpin, and you can get Steve at Steve Normand. You can also get at us at facebook.com/B-Movie Trash Talk. Any last words, Steve?
Go fuck yourself.
All right, have a great night, and we will catch you next time.
Go fuck yourself.